Hey legends, a few of you have reached out and asked me if I could just go through very quickly and very briefly just the buy, hold and sell, not worrying about the really complicated long one this week, just doing a quick overview and essentially going through the graphic as you see here on screen. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about a couple of the players that you've got up there in front of you, and we'll just go left to right. So players that I think are a buy this week are Briton Nikora. I think he is really starting to come into form, which is amazing. He's not cheap, but I still think he represents really good value, especially given the type of player he has already demonstrated to be in 2023. So if he can bring that form back in 2024, and I think he can, then he is going to be absolutely amazing. Next up, we've got Samuela Finu. I'm just going to put little ticks on these so that you can see them. So we've spoken about Nikora. Next up, we've got Sami Finu at the Tigers. Now, what I really like about him is the fact that he has the mid-dual edge combo, which is absolutely amazing. And also the fact that he's very good value. I think he's still just hovering above the 400k mark. So I reckon he's somebody that that you should be looking to bring in at some stage. Now, he's not going to score you 80 plus points, but he will, I reckon, deliver somewhere between 40 to 50 points every week. And I think going into the second and third major buy rounds, he will become very important. Now, he won't play round 13, so you've got to be conscious of that. But I still think now is a pretty good time to jump on board just because he is such tremendous value. Now, next up, we have Ruben Garrick. Now, like Fainu, he won't play in round 13. He's a little bit expensive, and I reckon the window to jump on is starting to close. But what we love about him is the fact that he does kick goals. He's kind of got that center wing fullback duel, and that definitely makes him valuable going to cover these buy rounds for us, which is just really cool. Next up is Dom Young. Now, he has really bottomed out in terms of price. So you're getting a world-class winger in a team that's really starting to find form and coming up against a few sides over the next few weeks that I reckon he could actually generate some massive points. The other thing we like about Dom Young is that he's a POM, he won't play State of Origin, and he does play the round 13 bye. So Dom Young, from my point of view, is definitely on the radar. Next up, we've got Reed Marnie. And if you're looking for a hooker, and the hooker position has been pretty dry this year, no one has really been setting the world on fire, except maybe a Reece Robson. But the thing about Reece is he's probably going to be the New South Wales number 9. And if we're looking for somebody to cover us in round 13, then Reed Marnie might just be the man to do it. He's starting to get up there in price, but he is delivering in terms of consistency with points this year, which is great to see from Reed Marnie. Next up, we've got Dane Gagai. So he's really coming into a decent stretch of form. And I think he might be kicking goals as well at the Newcastle Knights, given that Ponga is out. I think he might have also taken the captaincy, which makes him just that little bit more valuable for the Newcastle Knights. And I think with that extra layer of responsibility, that could see him really trying hard to really deliver for the Knights and hopefully for our fantasy sides as well. Next up is Joey Mano. And unfortunately with Joey, he's very expensive, but he does cover the round 13 bye. And we know with no Tedesco, Mano usually gets the fullback spot. And when he's playing fullback, he goes absolutely bananas and scores a truckload of points. So if you've got the cash to upgrade to Manu, then I reckon he's a pretty good buy. But you've really got to think about Manu as probably a 7 to 8 week, maybe even 9 week play to cover you for the entirety of the Origin period, because he's not cheap, as I said, but is an absolute weapon if he gets the right position. Next up, a popular buy this week is Scotty Drinkwater. The Cowboys look like they're going to go on a little bit of a run, and they're overdue for it. So fingers crossed, someone like Scotty Drinkwater can start to come into his own. He will cover the round 13 and 14 bye, I believe. So he could be really valuable for our sides over the next few weeks as well. I don't think he's quite bottomed out, but I don't think he's going to accelerate in a huge way over the next few weeks either. So if you can't afford to get him this week, you can probably afford to wait another week or two and maybe downgrade from someone like a Turbo into a Drinkwater at some point in time. Next up, Fa'alongo. and I've probably just butchered that name, so please forgive me. But he is the next man up when Pappenhausen goes down. Now, there is a little bit of caution on him as well. He does have a little bit of a knee injury. That could be a watch out for this weekend, but he is tremendous value. He's only about 350k, I think. Has a pretty high break even that I think sits around the 30 mark, so you don't necessarily need to jump on this week. You could just sit back and watch and see how he goes. Or if you're desperate to place Paps, he's an easy downgrade option, that's for sure. The other guy in our buy list is AJ Brimson at the Titans. Now, he's another guy who I don't think is going to be selected for Origin. He won't play round 13, but he is coming into a very decent stretch of form. The Titans look absolutely better when he is playing fullback. He is generating some pretty decent points and could go on a little bit of a run over the next couple of weeks. The Titans are scoring pretty well, even if they're not getting the wins. And I think AJ Brimson is benefiting from all of that. So that kind of rounds out our buys for this week. I'll cover the holds pretty quickly because a lot of these guys we've already covered. It's not yet time, in my opinion, to sell either Sam Hughes or Jamin Salmon. And what I would do with both of these guys, if you can, is hold until that round 13 buy. They'll get you through then, and then you can probably look to move them on. If you do have to sell one of them, sell Salmon before you have to sell Hughes. I know we've got Preston lingering on the bench, and I think it's Salmon that will lose minutes to Preston before Hughes does. Next up, we've got Max Plath. Now, I know he was a buy. I think he's starting to really get up there in terms of his price point. He does cover all of the major buy rounds. He is a great player. It's probably not too late to jump on if you have to. But if you've got him, I reckon hold him and hold him through the entirety of the State of Origin period. So he may fluctuate a little bit in price. He might go up, he might go down. But if you're going to jump on Max Plath, I think be prepared to hold him through until at least the third State of Origin before you look to move him on. Ethan Strange, I reckon a whole bunch of people are jumping off prematurely. He's on the bye this weekend, but he will give you great coverage in round 13. And I think we're going to need that, especially if we've got a Nathan Cleary or a Nico Hines. I think both of those guys are probably going to make the State of Origin team. And we will need some coverage for round 13. And I reckon Ethan Strange will do that pretty well. I think a lot of teams have someone like Lockie Galvin. Unfortunately, Lockie doesn't cover the round 13 bye. And we will need an alternative, and I reckon Ethan Strange is the guy. Next up, we've got Fini Fuiaki. Now, his minutes are starting to become affected by Lukey. At some stage, I reckon we're going to have to transition out of Fini Fuiaki and maybe into Lukey or someone similar. But for right now, I think he's got about one more week in him to extract a little bit more cash. And for mine, Fini Fuiaki is a hold. Ruben Cotter, thanks to his amazing 80-plus score last week, I think he is also a hold this week, but he is definitely a sell going into State of Origin. So whether that's next week or the week after, I think Ruben Cotter is someone that we will have to move on from. Josh Curran, I reckon it's probably too late to go and pick up a Josh Curran, unless, of course, you really need somebody to cover you for round 13. He's not scoring tremendously well. He's scoring decently, but he's not, an 80-plus point scorer at this point in time. So for me, he's not necessarily a buy, but if you do have him in your team, hold him through until at least round 13 before you look to move him on as well. Corey Waddell had a shocking score last week, and there is a temptation to sell him this week, but I think just hold for one more week, see how he performs. Burbo is back in that team as well, so if it starts to affect Waddell's minutes, then Waddell will definitely be a sell next week. And finally, in our hold section, Piakura is someone we really need to see a lot more points from. And I think for me, he's a hold through until the round 13 bye. But if his scores really haven't improved between now and round 13, then he unfortunately has to be on the chopping block. But for right now, I think where are you going to get a mid-300s, top 8 performing edge back rower? I think he's got the potential. We just need to start seeing it. So there you go. That rounds out the holds. And finally, the sells. I'll just rattle through these pretty quickly. There's probably no surprises here. But Terrell May absolutely was a sell last week, and he went and got us 2 tries. But I think he will struggle to replicate that this week. So to me, Terrell May is a sell. Paps, well, he's injured and out for about 6 weeks or so. Joey Chan, I don't think he's doing anything special. He's a sell. Jesse Arthurs went and broke his jaw, so for me, he is a sell. Jai Gray, also a sell. He's gone and injured his ankle, I think it is. And Cam Murray, unfortunately, a superstar of fantasy, but unfortunately is out injured as well for about 4 weeks or so. So there you go, guys. Look, that pretty much rounds out the buy, hold, and sell for this week. I'm very sorry that it's a very shortened version of buy, hold, sell. Unfortunately for me, I'm in Perth on business, and I simply just haven't had time to put a more complicated version of this buy, hold, sell together. One more thing before I go, I'll just jump over to just some of the information from footystatistics.com. And a lot of what we've said here in the buy, hold, sell is replicated over in this who's hot and who's not section. So you can see some of the players that we've been recommending: Ruben Garrick, Farlogo. We didn't recommend James Tedesco, and that's mostly because we're going into that origin period. David Armstrong we spoke about last week. AJ Brimson was on our list. Daniel Atkinson I'm not recommending. You should already have Angus Crichton by now. He was a gun and is a gun, but he was a great buy a couple of weeks ago. Ethan Sanders, I'm not really recommending. Jermaine Osako is somebody that I think I could recommend. He's coming into some pretty decent form. Scotty Drinkwater we spoke about. Manu we spoke about. I think it's too late to go Trey Fuller. We're hearing that the hammer is back next week. I don't think I'd recommend Talagi unless you've already got him. So Talangi is a great player, and I think the future for the Parramatta Eels. But for me, I just think there's better options going into round 13 at this point in time. McKaylee, I actually think he could be decent. He just needs more minutes, and right now we're just not seeing that. But if those minutes come this weekend, then I think he'll definitely be a buy going into that state of origin period. Fainu, we spoke about, he's pretty good. And a lot of the sells, Paps, you've got here. Jesse Arthurs, we spoke about. Ethan Strange, I think, is a hold. Cam Murray. Jerome Hughes, yeah, he's probably a sell as well. Jai Gray, we spoke about. Brandon Smith, for me, look, you've held him this long, so just continue to hold. Salmon, for me, he's a 50-50. I think it really depends on what you need. Sorry, that writing is atrocious there. Schiller, he's definitely a sell. Savage, he's kind of a 50-50 for me. Api Coruscant, yes, I think he is a sell, especially going to the state of origin if he gets that role. Bostock, he's probably another 50-50. It really depends where your weaknesses are. Morgan Smithies, for me, is a hold. Adam Reynolds, definite sell. And Tanner Boyd, a definite sell as well. So anytime you need some of those kind of buy, hold, sell recommendations, this really gives you an indication of what's happening in the market. So what are the other players doing out there? And you can see some similar trends to some of the stuff that we were talking. It's not always going to marry up, but it does give you a good indication of what's going on elsewhere. So there you go, guys. Look, that is buy, hold, and sell. The express version, which I still think will roll out to about 15 minutes or so. So give me some feedback if you've liked this shortened version. We can definitely do these ones on an ongoing basis as well. But other than that, I'm looking forward to being back in Brisbane on Friday and hopefully watching an amazing weekend of footy. As always, guys, look, if you've liked the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, get involved in the conversation via the comment section down below. And I'll see you all in the next video.